Attention Cloud9 shoppers, this is the Superstory Podcast, a Superstore fan podcast with Matthew Haas and Michael E. Cullen II.
Okay, everybody, welcome to the Superstory Podcast. Yay. My name is Michael E. Cullen II, and with me as always is my co-host,
Matthew Captain Marvel Danvers Haas.
Did you get married?
Maybe. In my mind. I got married in my mind.
Did you legally change your name?
In my mind, I went to the name changing place. Whatever that place is called. I went there and I signed my document and paid $100 or whatever, how much it cost to do that.
And what made you choose this new name here, Matthew?
Because I got married to Captain Marvel.
Oh, okay.
That's why.
In your mind?
Yeah.
You got married to a fictional character.
In my mind, not for real. Even in my mind, it was fictional, so it was like fictional on top of fictional.
So even in your fantasies, they can't be real?
No, even my fantasy, I knew it was fiction even within the fantasy. Yeah. Kind of like how JD in Scrubs said that, you know, how he becomes, you know, the sidekick in his own fantasy.
Yes.
Becomes the butler to Batman, Alfred.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's kind of the deal of what happened. But technically, in a fantasy, within a fantasy, I am now the husband of not Brie Larson, but Captain Marvel.
Okay.
Carol Danvers.
But if you're listening, Brie Larson, and you would like to marry my friend Matthew, he's a good guy.
I would very much love that. I think that would be a real treat.
Yes, it would.
Kind of the weird phrasing, but I did love the Pile of Bullets episode in Community, though.
Yes.
One of my favorite episodes ever.
The one with the video game hosted by Vince Gilligan.
Yes, one of my favorite episodes ever.
Mm-hmm.
Just hilarious. Pile of Bullets. Sorry.
So, Brie Larson.
I'm not a stalker or any weird thing like that.
Don't worry about my friend Matthew. He's a good guy. He hosts 3 podcasts.
Yep.
So that means he's a good guy.
Yeah, that means I'm a good guy because of that. That's the criteria for being a good guy is how many podcasts you host. So
if it was 4 or 2, he may or may not be a good guy. But he hosts 3.
So 3 is like the magic number of
3 is the magic number. Yes, it is.
What the hell?
Schoolhouse
Anyways,
Rock, man.
You're embarrassing me. Okay.
So, Superstore is the name of the show that we are covering here on Superstory. Let's dive right into our orientation here, Matthew.
Attention Cloud9 Associates, it is now time for orientation.
This episode was called Olympics. It was Season 2, Episode 1, but it actually takes place during the timeline of Season 1. And because of the Olympics being during the summer, they aired this after the finale. I don't get it, but whatever. They did this because it made sense at the time. And it was directed by Ruben Fleischer and written by Jonathan Green. Jonathan Green. Anyways, what happened in this episode here, Matthew?
Nothing.
I'm pretty sure we just watched
22
minutes of hilarity there. And
I mean, okay, so Glenn does his weird opening ceremony, and he gets all overly patriotic because
for the Summer Olympics.
For the Summer Olympics, and Mateo, he gets all patriotic because Mateo mentioned that he was gonna root for the Philippines team, and then Glenn didn't like that because he wanted America to be number one, so he was always just kind of trying to find Mateo anywhere in the store to kind of just say, oh, this coffee pot's made in America. It's the best coffee pot that we have, and just stupid stuff like that. And that was one of the plots of the show. And the other one was Dina wanted to do a closing ceremony, but had like way too ambitious of plans. Like she wanted to like have something to do with a helicopter or put a cannon on a helicopter or something like that. And she was like asking, her coworkers if they have like any special skills, and she ended up asking Sandra if she, like, well, I assume that you don't have any special skills, and she's like, actually, I have what was it called about the autobiographical memory or
it's a superior autobiographical memory. It's the same thing that Mary Lou Henner has in real life. So it's where you remember every moment of your life.
And she's like, well, that must be excruciating because your life is pathetic. She's like, that's what you said the last time I told you. And she pauses, April 8th, 2012.
Yeah.
That was a funny line.
That was funny.
And that's kind of the main thing. And then there was this like a famous Olympian athlete that was like signing autographs at the store, like a fictional
Missy Johnson, played by Cecily Strong from Saturday Night Live.
By the way, I forgot to say this when we started. You are the best person at being you.
I am?
Yeah.
I would have said that to you too, but then you changed your name, so I don't know if you are happy being you, so I'm not sure if you are the best at being you.
Okay.
Because I think my friend Matthew Allen Haas is the best at being Matthew Allen Haas. But now you're Matthew Captain Marvel Danvers Haas, and I don't know if you're you anymore,
I'm pretty sure that version of me is much happier because I'm married to fucking Captain Marvel, so I'm pretty sure that's a much better life.
And you have a nice pet cat and everything, too.
Yeah.
Brie Larson is actually allergic to cats in real life.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. You told me that.
Yeah.
So they had to do like
CGI and stuff, and then she could only do so many scenes with the cats. Anyways, so
I love cats. Well, now there's gonna be a problem.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't know if you want to get married to Brie Larson anymore.
I'm pretty sure I would.
Give up cats.
I'm pretty sure that would be a. Anyway,
if you marry Brie Larson,
would you stop?
She needs to be in my next movie.
You're embarrassing me so much, man.
It's okay.
If I ever meet her, I'm gonna blush just from this because of this episode by itself.
Well, Brie Larson, if you're listening to this podcast, my friend Matt is blushing. And I'm going to stop talking about you. It doesn't mean that I don't love you too. But anyways.
Oh boy.
So Superstore. Anyways, so like and throughout the episode we have Cecily Strong's character who is there, and then Dina's trying to find out if she banged a bunch of people at the at the Olympics.
That's right.
And stuff.
Yeah,
and
typical Dina.
And Amy's obsessed with her, and what happens is that she shows Cheyenne, who wanted to be a gymnast at one point, that she wrote down Olympics on a piece of, on a little note card when she was a little girl, and that she ended up becoming, that. So then all of a sudden, everybody thinks that they can write something on a note card and then they'll become famous, which isn't true. I still have my note card from when I was a little boy that said astronaut, and I'm not an astronaut. No, I don't.
I don't remember even doing that when I was in school.
I didn't either. I
think they gave up on that at a certain point. They're like, all right, well.
Yeah, I don't think I ever did that.
It must have been a thing.
And I never wanted to be an astronaut. I don't know why I said astronaut.
Whatever.
That never impressed me much.
No.
Yeah.
Who cares about astronauts, right?
Going to another planet, whatever.
Whatever.
Yeah. Anyways,
I mean, why would you need to? Science sucks, right?
Mm-hmm.
Science isn't real.
Yes. It isn't.
Sorry. No.
I'm going to join the Space Force, though.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Oh, man.
Let's jump into our next little segment here, Matthew.
All right.
It's our Employee of the Week.
Attention Cloud9 Associates, our Employee of the Week is...
So, Matt.
Yeah.
Who was your favorite employee this week, and why?
This week. That was weird. That was a weird sound. I'm gonna go with Garrett.
Yes.
I'm gonna go with Garrett.
Okay.
Because I like his sarcasm. I like his. He's like, okay, how do I explain this? He has the right amount of cynicism about the job he has, but without being like a completely bitter person about it.
Yeah.
So he's not like Glenn, where he's delusional about his life, where he thinks that like he's perfect, everything's perfect, and even though he actually doesn't believe that, because in one of the episodes before, when he gets drunk, he reveals what he really feels about Cloud9, and it's not good feelings, and it's not like total, cynicism, like some jerk who like criticizes other people about how fast they're working, and doesn't pay attention to their workload and stuff like that. So
Yes.
yeah,
Garrett is always one of my favorites too. I think this week I'm gonna have to go with Mateo,
okay,
just because it was a good Mateo episode with the whole Mateo finding out in this episode that he is undocumented.
that's right. That's a good,
Good little subplot. Yes.
especially how he finds out when he's talking about the store, the green card store.
Yeah, he's talking about he's like, thinking that Asian Americans can't vote, and then anyways, so let's move on to our next segment, which because I think that's about all I have to say about that.
That's
Unfortunately,
fine.
Yeah. Let's move on to the next segment, which is today's special. Actually, do you want to take a break before we go to today's special?
Yeah, let's go ahead. Let's run some ads about pastries and whatnot, or whatnot.
And or whatnot. So, stay tuned, folks, and we'll be right back with today's special. Yes. Hey, folks, this is Michael E. Cullen II from the podcast that you're listening to right now, along with
Matthew Haas.
We just wanted to tell you about our great podcast called Super. It's called All Too Real. And on that show, what do we do, Matt?
We watch biopics, and then we talk about whether or not the movie matched up with the real story or not.
So
It was a lot more exciting than that, though.
Yeah, so we analyze the real story and the real story.
Get it?
Get it?
Real.
Yeah, they're spelled differently, folks. You can guess which one I said which way.
Uh-huh.
Anyways, so sometimes we have a guest, sometimes we don't. But we talk about great movies like Shattered Glass and The Social Network and Futile and Stupid Gesture, among others. Those are some of the ones that we've covered so far, and we're going to cover a lot more. So please subscribe on Stitcher, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, wherever you find your great, fun podcasts. And be sure to share it with your friends.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
And make sure you're not afraid to get all too real. Bye-bye. Ah, those were some good ads, weren't they there, Matthew?
Yeah, what happened to your voice?
I don't know. I think I'm going to talk like this the rest of my life.
Please don't.
All right. I'm back.
Good.
Anyways, so let's move on to today's special.
That one's almost as bad as the other one.
Okay. So, today's special is brought to you by... No, just joking.
That one's okay. Attention Cloud9 shoppers. Today's special is...
So, today, what is your favorite scene in the episode, Matthew, and why?
Well, I don't want to steal away your thing because you mentioned it was a good Mateo episode, but
that's fine. Go ahead. I'll
scene.
pick something else.
Okay. Well, I like the scene where he finds out that he's undocumented because he's like telling like Jonah, like, yeah, I love a lot of things about America, but I think it's kind of weird that Asian Americans can't vote. And Jonah's like, what though? And he's like, yeah, you're one vote, one person, one vote, unless you're an Asian American. Like, and he says something like, well, what do you have to say about that? And he's like, I don't think I can. So he's like, you are a citizen, right? He's like, oh, of course. So I can't be a citizen because I'm an Asian American. He's like, no, I'm just saying that a lot of people, I've heard stories where people would, bring their children over and not ever even tell them
that they're undocumented.
And he's like, oh no, it's my, because we went to the green card store. He's like, wait, the green card store? He's like, yeah, what's the place where they sell something in bootlegs?
They sell knockoff handbags and bootleg Spider-Man DVDs.
And Jonah just kind of gives him this look, and then Mateo's like calls his mom or
his
whatever.
grandma. Yeah.
And then he's speaking Filipino, but he said something about Spider-Man and Netflix.
That was funny. I think my favorite scene was the scene where a bunch of people wrote down on the cards what they, things that they might want to accomplish, and Amy's like, you wrote down your realistic accomplishments, right? And then, Elias writes down nailed Scarlett Johansson, and she's like, why don't you try, nailing somebody else, like your wife? That'd be good. And then, and he's like, no, it wouldn't. And then,
yeah, that was kind of
that was funny. And then she's like, if you could just write down whatever you wanted, then Garrett could walk.
Right.
And then Garrett White's walk on the card and he can't walk.
He's like, nope.
Nope.
He's like, I never thought of writing it down before.
Yeah. I liked that.
That was a good one.
That one was good.
Attention Cloud 9 associates, it's time to grab your go-backs.
Okay, with go backs, what is something that wasn't quite as funny that could have been better in this episode? If you have any, Matt.
It's not a big deal, but kind of like maybe it's just me, but I kind of get a little like uncomfortable like when people like talk about sex explicit. It's a weird thing.
Yeah.
It's like it's the talking about it. It's I don't know how to explain it. So like with Dina, because she's very vulgar.
Oh, yeah.
and stuff, and not just. She's not just like open; she's like too open about it, like because she's got that personality where she doesn't have a filter. So like when she was asking the Olympian, like of all the people she had sex with or banged or whatever, like I don't know. It wasn't a big deal, but it's.
I'm actually going to agree with you on this one.
Okay.
I don't think that was necessary in this episode. It could have been, but that is Dina's character though, so it makes sense. So it makes sense. There was nothing really that kind of. I really like this episode, so there was nothing that really overtly, I think, could have been taken out of the episode necessarily. So before we close out this episode and stuff, I have some trivia here to go over. Yeah, here's some trivia provided by the Internet Movie Database.
Nice.
Who are not one of our sponsors. But if you'd like to be, you can contact me at mike@cullenpark.com. Not that you need any sponsors. You're owned by Amazon. Anyways, okay, several U.S. Olympians make cameos in this episode. Figure skater Tara Lipinski, speed cater. There's a caterer. No, speed
caterer.
It's a new Olympic event.
Yes.
The speed skater Apollo Ono, and gymnast Michaela. Maroney, appear in breaks between the main action, like when you see customers in the store.
Yeah.
It's them.
Okay.
Most of the time. The female Cloud9 customer who tries on a black jacket is Michaela Maroney, American former artistic gymnast, famous for her not impressed facial expression. The expression became an internet meme. She recreated it in the show, acting like she was not impressed with the outfit. And yeah, she competed in the 2012 Olympics.
Oh, okay.
Okay. The mannequin that burns is the same one that Amy used to mock Jonah in the episode Mannequin, which is
like that.
Yeah, which is season 1, episode 4. Amy wears a different name tag in each episode, as we've established before. Her name tag in this one is Gemma. And and like I said before, this episode does not follow continuity. It was a one-off special episode for the Olympics on NBC, which is why Cheyenne is still pregnant.
Yeah.
Yes.
Magus Elgar's apprentice, Udo Malaki, comes from a family of dangerous, exciting casters.
Hi, I'm Udo Malaki, and, I do magic.
Even if his ambitions only go as far as staying alive.
You know, I was really hoping you were going to say something a bit more positive.
Not exactly an ideal Magus. You can hear Udo Malaki and his exciting adventures in the upcoming radio comedy, Magus Elgar.
Visit MagusElgar.com to download your copy today.
Hi, everybody. This is Michael E. Cullen II from the podcast you're listening to right now. With me, as always, is
Matthew Hassa.
Yeah, and we're here to tell you about our really cool other podcast called All Too Real 2. And what do we do on that show, Matt?
We watched the greatest direct-to-video sequels of all time, and then we report on them.
And we also talk about other pop culture cool things like video games and conspiracy theories and other awesome things. So if any of that sounds fun to you and you enjoy hearing my voice and Matt's voice,
as you should.
I mean, of course. Tune in anywhere you get podcasts to All Too Real 2. Bye-bye. Attention Cloud9 shoppers. The store will be closing this week. Anything else that you would like to bring up here, Matt, before we close out the show? Any word from our friend Tony?
No. Not really. He did send me some riffs, but he didn't really say much about them.
No.
So I'm not sure if they're just out of context or for what they...
It could be out of context like this episode.
Yes.
But yeah, we might want to get permission from him before we air them.
What, Tony?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. I'm trying to understand where he's coming from with these ideas of covers that he does, where he thinks that as long as he has the lyrics to a song, that he can play anything at all, and it constitutes it as a cover. But even then, he doesn't even use all the lyrics. He only uses some of the lyrics, so I'm not really sure even what that is. But in his mind, they're all covers of his cousin. Step cousin twice removed.
Yes.
So, Tom Petty is...
Yes.
Yeah.
Tony Generous.
Tony. Yeah.
Be on the lookout, folks, for the next Tony Generous CD or MP3s or...
MP3s on my phone that he sends to me.
Sometimes he might randomly just send you the songs in the mail, like on a memory card or something.
Yeah, he's done that a couple times. It's very strange. I'm not even sure how he has access to the mail because I'm pretty sure he's homeless. But
you can still go to the post office.
Yeah, I guess it's true. Yeah, good point.
It's not like they don't allow homeless people to send mail.
Well, I don't know how that works. I don't know their rules.
I don't know. I mean, at least not when we recorded this. Who knows? The laws might change before this airs.
Yeah.
You never know anymore.
Nope.
Sad, but true. So anyways, thanks folks for listening to this weird episode of Super Story here, and hope you enjoyed it. If you do, let us know, review us, or do whatever you have to online. And we'll be back next time with some more Superstore.
All right.
Podcast.
Yep. Whoa.
Until then, the store is now closed. Bye-bye.
This is the Super Story Podcast, a Superstore fan podcast.
A Cullen Park production. Produced and edited by Michael E. Cullen II. Music by Matthew Haas. Subscribe and share the show. Visit us at cullenpark.com.